Right, let's dive into Lost in the World Without Love. It's just exciting, exploring a song for the first time anyway. It's really fascinating to see how much meaning and emotion can get packed into just a few minutes of uh, a creative piece like this. So you've given us the song and what looks like the lyric sheet, which has some notes on the musical style.
Like a blueprint to the artist's soul, right? Like we can see the raw materials and how they were put together to make this powerful piece of art.
Exactly. And speaking of raw materials, let's just start with the music. I'm going to play you a little snippet of the intro and just listen for the instruments and the overall feel. Okay, so what stood out? Did you catch that mix of blues and rock? You've got like the electric guitars and the bass laying down a solid groove, and then the keyboards add this kind of haunting texture, and then bam, saxophone.
It's really a clever fusion. It's like the song is setting the stage for like a journey through some tough emotions. The blues element with those kind of bent notes, what musicians call blue notes, that gives it that raw kind of melancholic feel. Think about those classic blues songs. You hear that same kind of like aching quality. But then the rock elements bring in energy, even a hint of rebellion, like there's a fight brewing under the surface.
And to deliver all that emotional weight, we've got dramatic contralto female voice, according to the notes. What exactly does that mean for someone who might not be a music expert?
Think of it this way. Contralto is the lowest female voice type, right? It's
Yeah.
naturally rich, deep, and powerful, and often has this soulful, almost world-weary quality. And then adding dramatic to the mix, well, that tells us the singer is going to really use their voice to tell the story, to make you feel every emotion. It's like the perfect voice to express, the feeling of being lost and searching.
All right, so we've got the musical backdrop, we've got the voice. Now let's dive into the lyrics. First verse, it paints a pretty bleak picture. In this crazy world where shadows reign, streets are cold, and hearts feel the strain. Right away, you get this sense of weariness, and then, oof, 33 years young, but feeling so old. I think we've all been there at some point, right? Feeling older than our years because life's thrown us some curveballs.
And notice how those lines are delivered, not whiny, but with like a resolute sadness. That's
Gotcha.
that blues influence again, right? The blues isn't just about complaining. It's about acknowledging hardship, but also finding the strength to keep going. It's like the speaker saying, yeah, life is tough, but I'm still here.
Then we hit the pre-chorus, and the feeling of isolation really sets in. Every face I see is just a hollow shell in this desolate land where no one can tell. Is there any hope left, or is it all gone? Got to find a way to keep moving on. This is where we really start to understand what being lost actually feels like. It's not just about like physically being lost. It's about feeling disconnected, alone, even in a crowd.
And you can bet the music is going to reflect that shift in emotion. Remember those rock elements we talked about? This is where they might really start to come to the forefront, adding like an edge of urgency, maybe even a bit of defiance. It's like the music is mirroring the speaker's inner struggle, their fight to find hope when surrounded by despair. It's something to really pay attention to when you hear the full song. How does the music make you feel at this point?
Right, brace yourself. Here comes the chorus.
Yes.
Lost in a world without love, hatred's flying high like a dark dove. Prejudice chains us, freedom's out of sight. But I'm going to find a way to make it right.
Wow.
This is where the song really hits you with its message. It's not just personal anymore. It's connecting that feeling of being lost to these big, huge societal issues.
It is fascinating how the songwriter takes a feeling we can all relate to, like feeling lost, and expands it to encompass something so much bigger, right? Suddenly, it's not just one person's heartbreak. It's about a world struggling with hate and prejudice, the loss of freedom.
And they don't shy away from painting a vivid picture of that struggle in the second verse. Listen to this. People walking by with their lifeless eyes, dreams all shattered, broken ties, looking for reasons in a senseless place, trying to find a smile on just one face. It's like a snapshot of a world that's completely lost its way.
And yet, even with all that despair, there's this flicker of hope, a refusal to give up. Notice how the lyrics repeat, like, gotta find a way and gotta keep on searching. It's like a mantra, a reminder to keep pushing forward even when it feels like all is lost. And that ties back to the power of that contralto voice, right? It can convey the weight of sadness, but also the strength to rise above it.
And that raw vulnerability comes through so strongly in the next line. Is there any warmth left in this cold, cold heart? It's like the speaker is bearing her soul to us, asking a question we've probably all asked ourselves at some point.
It's interesting how that line, is there any warmth left in this cold, cold heart? It comes right before the bridge of the song. The bridge, like, it's often where we see a shift in perspective, a turning point in the emotional arc. And in this case, the lyrics suggest a powerful shift. From despair to determination, I won't let this world tear me down. I'm gonna break these chains, turn my life around.
Yeah, it's like a switch flips. The speaker decides, I'm not going to be a victim anymore. I'm taking control. I refuse to let the darkness win.
And musically, this could be where you hear a change in the dynamics of the song. Dynamics refer to, the volume and intensity of the music. So you might hear the music get louder or more intense during the bridge, reflecting like that surge of inner strength. Or you might even hear a shift in the tempo, like the speed of the music, to create a sense of urgency and momentum.
Okay, so we're listening for those musical cues that kind of underscore that shift in emotion. It's like the music is another voice in the story, amplifying the message of the lyrics.
Exactly. It's a conversation between the words and the music.
Yeah.
And as listeners, we get to like eavesdrop on that conversation and interpret it in our own way.
That's what's so cool about music, right?
Yeah.
It's so subjective, so personal. What one person hears in a song might be totally different from what another person hears.
Absolutely. And that's part of what makes this deep dive so interesting. We're not giving you like a lecture on music theory. We're encouraging you to listen actively and make your own connections.
And speaking of connections, let's talk about how the song uses repetition to, reinforce its message. We've already heard the chorus once. It's going to come back again, but it might feel different the second time around.
Right. Repetition is a powerful tool in music. It can be used in lots of different ways. Sometimes it's used to emphasize a particular idea or emotion. Other times it's used to create anticipation or a buildup. In this case, I think the repetition of the chorus shows how the speaker's perspective has changed. The first time we hear it, it's a statement of despair being lost in a world without love. But the second time, it feels more like a declaration of intent, like a refusal to give in to that darkness.
So same words, but with a different energy behind them, a different feeling.
And that's where the music comes in. It plays a, crucial role in shaping our interpretation. Think about it, right? The first time the chorus plays, the music might be more subdued, reflecting those feelings of helplessness. But the second time around, the music might become more powerful, more triumphant, mirroring the speaker's newfound determination.
I'm getting chills. It's amazing how music can do that, transport us to another place, emotionally.
And let's not forget the power of metaphor. Remember that central image of being lost in a world without love. That's not meant to be taken literally, is it? It's expressing a deeper emotional state.
Right. It's like a shortcut to understanding the complexity of the speaker's feelings. We've all felt lost at some point, whether it's because of like a broken heart, a difficult situation, or just a general feeling of disconnection.
Exactly. Metaphors allow songwriters to tap into those universal experiences and create images that resonate with us, on an emotional level. And in this case, the metaphor of being lost is particularly powerful because it speaks to that, that fundamental human need for love and connection.
And the song doesn't just explore that need on a personal level, does it? Remember those lines about prejudice and freedom? They connect that feeling of being lost to something much larger, something societal.
Precisely. It's like the song is saying that we can feel lost as individuals, but we can also feel lost as a society when we allow, hate and division to take root.
So we've got these different layers of meaning woven together. Personal struggles, societal challenges, this universal search for love and connection, all through the lyrics and the music.
And as you listen to the full song, think about how those layers interact. Where do you see those personal and societal themes converging? How does the music reinforce the message of the lyrics?
And most importantly, how does it all make you feel? What personal experiences or memories does it evoke? As we're talking about all the lyrics, the music, I keep thinking about that note on the lyric sheet. Dramatic contralto female voice. Makes me wonder, what kind of voice do you picture bringing this song to life?
Right. It's so important because the voice is the instrument that delivers like all this raw emotion, all these layers of meaning we've been talking about.
Exactly. It's not just about hitting the notes. It's got to embody the story, the struggle, that journey from like darkness to light. So for someone who might not know different vocal styles, what are the key elements of a dramatic contralto? What should we be listening for?
Well, contralto, like we said, is naturally deep, rich, resonant. It's got this earthy quality that can be incredibly moving, but adding dramatic, that suggests a singer who can really command your attention, someone who can use their voice to paint pictures, tell a story, make you feel every word.
Okay, so I'm picturing a voice as both powerful and vulnerable. Someone who can convey the weight of those lines about feeling lost and alone, but also the determination to break free. Kind of like we were saying with the blues, right? That mix of sadness and resilience.
Exactly. Think about how the singer might use dynamics, that's the variation in volume, to create contrast. You might have these soft, intimate moments where the voice is almost a whisper, drawing you in, like you're sharing a secret. And then, bam, the voice soars. It becomes this powerful force that fills the room, expressing the speaker's inner strength.
And those shifts in dynamics, wouldn't they also reflect the shifts in the music? Like when the rock elements kick in, the vocals might get more raw and edgy.
Absolutely. Voice and music are working together to tell the story. And just like with the music, there might be moments where the singer uses phrasing, the way they deliver the words, to emphasize certain ideas or emotions. Maybe they hold a note a little longer or add a slight catch in their voice to really drive home a particular line.
And don't forget, this is a blues-inspired song. So
Yeah.
there's got to be some grit in there, some rawness to the vocal delivery, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's that blend of like power, vulnerability, and grit that will really make this song come alive. It's like the singer is embodying the struggle, the yearning, the ultimate triumph of the human spirit. It's making you want to go listen to it again with like fresh ears, paying attention to all those vocal nuances.
Me too. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of Lost in the World Without Love. We've explored the lyrics, the musical elements, the power of the voice. But now it's your turn.
Yes. Go listen to the full song. Let it wash over you and see what stands out to you. Do the musical shifts match the emotional arc we talked about? Does the singer's voice convey that range of emotions?
And most importantly, what's the song mean to you? Have you ever felt lost in a world without love? What helps you find your way back to hope and connection? This deep dive was just a starting point, a way to give you some new lenses through which to experience the music. Now go put those lenses on and explore.
Exactly. Keep listening, keep questioning, keep diving deep, because that's the beauty of music. It's a journey of discovery, and there's always something new to find.
Yeah.